Hello, it's Monica Dubé, and I'm doing lesson number 38 in A Course in Miracles. And I'm smiling because this is really, literally, my entirely favorite lesson. And I have to tell you why. Because it is the total solution to your problem. And when I think of this lesson, I remember there have been moments in my life where I've done this lesson and it has completely shifted me out of fear and pain. And because it's reminding us of who we really are. It's reminding us that we are the holiness that God created. And that if that's true, then your problems are resolved. They're already over. And the name of the lesson is, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. There's nothing my holiness cannot do because it's not of this world. Right? My holiness comes from my Creator. Your holiness comes from your Creator. It's no different than anyone else's holiness. So the reason I really love it is because it's just such a strengthening reminder of who we really are. So I'm going to read some of it because it's just so amazing. Ready? Your holiness reverses all the laws of the world. It is beyond every restriction of time, space, distance, and limits of any kind. Your holiness is totally unlimited in power because it establishes you as a son of God, at one with the mind of His Creator, right? Through your holiness, the power of God is made manifest. I'm really talking about, and it's really instructing us to believe, and not believe, but to experience. It doesn't matter what you believe. Your belief has nothing to do with this. And it's really about your willingness to experience the power and the holiness of your mind. And that it is from God, from the source. So you can't change that. You can't change what you are. God created you as a holy and perfect manifestation of His love. That's what you are. You cannot be anything but that. And so I really want to, I'll just keep reading because it's just beautiful how it's presented here. I'm so excited. There's so much light coming in my head right now. Through your holiness, the power of God is made available. Through your holiness. And there's nothing the power of God cannot do. Your holiness then can remove all pain, can end all sorrow, and can solve all problems. It can do so in connection with yourself and with anyone else. This is why I do what I do. This is why I'm a coach and I help people transform, because I know that we all share this same power, and I'm just here to remind you. So, it's equal in its power to help anyone because it is equal in its power to save anyone. Saving meaning wake you up to the truth of who you are, right? Salvation is like a recognition that you already are the whole, holy Son of God Himself, right? And I just want you to recognize that there's nothing objectionable about that. That if you want to object to it, you can, but your objection is your problem. Your rejection of this idea and your objection to the idea that you could be holy or that you could be perfect as God created you is your entire problem. And you can stop right now. You can choose to believe what's true. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more fun. And it's like flowing down a river where the river's just moving you back to your source, coming back into the ocean where you belong, into the mind of God that is whole and holy and unlimited in its power. Okay? I was swimming in the ocean last night and I just realized that I'd forgotten what it feels like to be in the ocean where the waves just take you and they just constantly bring you to, wherever it wants to. And there's a surrender in it that is so delightful. You know how it is when you're a kid, when you first discover all this. There's an ocean. Wow, I can jump in there and feel the power of love and let myself go. So I want to remind you about that. It's really extraordinary. You're holy because all things He created are holy. All things. Not just you, but everything. And all things He created are holy because you are. Right? You are holy. Don't forget this. This is really your wake-up call. So today's exercises, we're going to apply the power of your holiness to all problems, difficulties, or suffering in any form that you happen to think of, in yourself or in someone else. We'll make no distinctions because there are no distinctions. One problem isn't different from another problem. It's all an illusion. It's all made up, right? There's nothing that this cannot be applied to that wouldn't be healed instantly. Here's how you apply it. In the 4 longer practice periods, each preferably to last a full 5 minutes, right? We're still doing 5 minutes. Close your eyes, repeat the idea for today, and search your mind for any sense of loss or unhappiness, or of any kind as you see it. Try to make as little distinction as possible between a situation that is difficult for you and one that is difficult for someone else. Okay? So you can bring that person into your mind, or you can think of a situation that you have and use it for this exercise. Identify the situation specifically, okay? And also the name of the person concerned. So it's really wonderful. It's a way to practice prayer for someone else. Use this form in applying the idea for today. In the situation involving this person, this situation in which I see myself, there is nothing my holiness cannot do. In the situation in which I see myself, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. So think of something that causes you conflict right now and tell yourself, in this situation, right? Maybe it's, who knows what it is? Maybe it's your bank account, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your boss, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's somebody that your mother, somebody you just can't get along with. And just recognize this. In this situation involving this, in which I see myself, because we're still just perceiving, right? There is nothing my holiness cannot do. And just release. Just feel that. I am the solution to my problem. My holiness is the solution to every problem I can conceive of. Feel it? It's shining in light. You're shining in light. You're letting the light come down through you. And shine it through your whole body, through your whole heart, and let your heart open up really wide right now. There's nothing your holiness cannot do. It's all perfectly orchestrated for you to wake up to the truth of who you are. That's what you're doing here. You're waking up to the truth of who you are. It's not exciting? All right, here's how we do it for someone else. In a situation involving this person, in which blank, this person sees himself or herself, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. So it's not about their holiness, it's about your holiness, even involving them. And why is that? Right? How can we heal other people in their situations? They're still figments of our imagination. They're still projections from our mind, right? All your relationships are still being perceived by you, and you've made them up and put them there to teach you something, or to enjoy life with, or to maybe experience conflict with for a while until you recognize, I don't have to do that anymore. So that's a great lesson that, all of my relationships taught me. I don't have to do this anymore. I love you. I don't have to be in conflict with you anymore. And I can choose not to be, because there's nothing my holiness cannot do. And it's really a matter of choice. I choose to experience the light. I choose to experience my holiness. And sometimes we have to be the one to remind the people in our lives. And I don't mean verbally. I just mean by doing this. Right? Quietly doing an exercise like this that shifts your consciousness from fear and conflict to love and light and blessing. And that's power. Love is all power. Right? Fear has absolutely no power. It's non-creative. It's destructive. It has nothing to do with anything in reality. So love is where the power is. And your holiness reflects that. It's great. It's amazing. From time to time, you might want to vary this procedure and add some relevant thoughts of your own. You might like, for example, to include such thoughts as, there's nothing my holiness cannot do, because the power of God lies in it. There's nothing my holiness cannot do, because the power of God lies in it. Okay, so search your mind. Go through some people in your life who need some help today, and do the lesson. In the situation involving this person in which he sees himself, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. And watch what happens. All right. So in the frequent shorter applications, apply the idea in its original form, unless a specific problem concerning you or someone else arises and comes to mind. Then apply the lesson in the more specific form. So you could just walk around all day and say, "There's nothing my holiness cannot do." Right? There's nothing my holiness cannot do. If you have a thought of fear, if you have a thought of lack, if you have a thought of suffering of any kind, just keep reminding yourself today, there's nothing my holiness cannot do. You're going to have such a happy day. I can already feel it. So thank you for being with me. And tomorrow we're going to do lesson 39. Let's see what that is. Oh, my holiness is my salvation. Well, of course. So thanks for watching and being part of A Course in Miracles and the shift in our consciousness right now, which is so critical. And those of us who are waking up are really here just to be present. And to do a lesson like this will shift your entire life really quickly. So thanks for being with me. If you want to know more, go to healyourmindhealyourlife.com. And I would love to get to know you further. Thanks so much for everything. See you soon.